you guys? It's your teacher Emma, and I'm at our church, St. Gabriel's. We're going to be talking about some important things that you can find on the altar today at church. So I think that's our cue. Let's look inside. So this area that we're on right now is called the altar. It's where the liturgy of the word and the liturgy of the Eucharist happen, but we'll talk about those later. Follow me. This right here is the lectern. It's where all the readings happen. And this right here is where the altar servers sit. But right down here, on these three little pillows, is where the altar servers kneel during the liturgy of the Eucharist. They'll also ring this bell that you hear 3 times. But once again, we'll talk about that later. This table over here is used to store the chalices and the purificators that are going to be used on the altar when the gifts are brought down. Nothing's on it right now. It's altar server's job during communion to take the chalices and the purificators and place them on the altar, which takes us to over here. This right here is the crucifix. We keep it on the altar to serve as a reminder of Jesus' sacrifice that he made to us. And to the right of the crucifix is the tabernacle. You guys have probably never heard of this before, so let's talk about it. After communion each day, there's always leftover Eucharist, or there's Eucharist that are put into addition because we have a very big congregation. But it's very important to remember that Eucharist can never be thrown away. So after each Mass and before each Mass, you will see the priest open this little cabinet and place the Eucharist or take the Eucharist out. As you can see, let's zoom up on them. These 2 candles on each side of the tabernacle are super important. They represent that Jesus' light is always with us. These candles are almost never turned off. They're on 24 hours a day. The only time they are actually off is Good Friday, the day that Jesus was crucified. All right? And so let's head over here. This is where the deacon, the priest, and the altar server will sit. And this book is where the priest will read some of his prayers out of. He'll use it for the prayers at the beginning and the end of Mass, and for the prayers during communion. It's the altar server's job to take this book and place it right here on the altar table. As you can see, the altar table is very simple. Sometimes it gets a little bit more fancy during the year, but right now it's just covered by a simple linen. This right here is where the chalices go. The book goes here, and our wafers will go here. But here, guys, I have a little secret for you, so come up closer. All right, so underneath pretty much all Catholic altars are relics. In some churches, it can be the bones of saints that have passed away. But we don't know what's underneath our altar for sure. I guess it's a little secret. All right, so let's go through a quick tour of everything super quickly. We got the chairs, the tabernacle, the altar table. We have the crucifix, the lectern, and this is where the chalices are stored, along with the altar service seats, and these are the cushions that the altar servers sit on during communion, plus the super important bell that you're going to hear 3 times during communion. All right, everybody. So that's everything you need to know about the altar. Thank you for joining me. Awesome exploring with me today.